Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Before I start this one, if you like the content of the channel, you'd like to see more videos like this, please like and subscribe, as it really would help the channel out no end if you could do that. Small thing to do, but I say would help me out no end, so cheers. Today we're going to be featuring this lovely Sinn 856B. Now it's a limited edition watch. There's only going to be, you guessed it, 856 of these bad boys being made. And that makes it quite a rare watch, really. I'd say it's the first time I've actually handled one. It is a little bit funky and different. Not, kind of like their standard watches, really. Even though the case sort of is, the dial layout is a little bit different. But before we get into this review, I've got to say a big thank you to Ryan and the team over at Francis Gaye for allowing me to review this watch. They've got so many watches. I guarantee if you go in there, you're going to find lots of things you'll like. If you can't make it there, then no worries. I'll leave a link in the description below. So, sizes. We're talking a 14mm case size by only 11mm thick, and lug to lug, so from here to here, 47.5. And the strap, though there are options which we'll talk about, is 20mm. Let's zoom in on that dial. Now, the dial on this is a little bit more unusual from Sinn. Now, as I said, 856B, what that kind of indicates is it's a pilot's watch. And the pilot watches came in two flavours back in the day. The A variations would have a longer hour hand and just the single minute hour track going around the side. And B variations would feature a smaller hand and this hour track in the middle here, a bit more small and more refined, really. And so that's where it gets its name from. It's got that kind of military theme to it with this kind of, I don't know if you'd say faux patina, where they've got the beige on here, but then you got the bright white also parts of a minute track here. So, but most prominent obviously is that arrow pointing up at 12, a very military kind of look to it there. Both the hands and dial, the hands and hour and minute marks, I should say, around the outer section have got loom. The loom's not too bad, to be fair. The inner track hasn't, which is a little bit of a shame. But I do like just this nice, simple Sinn and made in Germany there. Now, the eagle eye amongst you might have noticed this symbol there, and that is a symbol to indicate that this watch has got a high level of anti-magnetic properties. It works out roughly to 1000 Gauss of actual resiliency to static electricity. And down here, we also have a date window at the 4 o'clock position. So, as we come past that, we've got this nice, simple, flat sapphire crystal with AR coating on the inner. And again, as we come round here, we have just a very clean, classical kind of bead-blasted finish case. Now, this here is part of Sinn's AR tech. Now, what I mean by that is they remove all the moisture and oxygen from the watch. Now, you might say moisture, there is no moisture inside my watch, but trust me, plonk an ice cube on your dial for a minute or so. When you remove it, you will see basically there'll be moisture or condensation build up underneath the dial. Now, please don't do this, as it's not great for the watch. But if you were to do that on this watch, you wouldn't get that, because what they do is actually at the factory, they'll simply put this in a vacuum, suck out all the oxygen, and then pump in an inert gas. But this inert gas has thinner particles, so you have to use different seals, and you get this as a backup on the side. So any moisture was to get into the watch, the copper sulfide crystals within this would draw it towards them and thus change colour. So it's just a nice little thing to kind of have in the watch. It also has a low pressure rating. It's been tested in low pressures as well. Now, we do have drilled lugs, which makes strap changing much easier. Big pronounced crown guards there, but it does have a nice, easy to grab crown with the S on there. And to be fair, if I tighten it, it actually does line up on this one, which is quite nice. Now, it is screw down crown because there is 200 meters of water resistancy. Now, this one, I must say, when you turn it, it is so silky smooth, really, really nice. I wasn't even sure if it was actually working when I did it. I was really quite impressed how smooth that is. Now on the back there, we've just got a solid case back, so nothing really to write home with there, but I know a lot of people who do like solid case backs. I can't understand why personally, but you know, it is on there. Being that this has got a high level of anti-magnetism, I think that is why they've gone with that on the back. Now, as we come past this, I should actually mention the movement in this, because it is silky smooth to wind. It is the SW301. Now, it is a top grade variation of that. So when I put this on the time grapher earlier, it was actually coming out at -1 second. That was it. So really quite, solid movement with 56 hours of power reserve and 25 joules in there as well. So it's just a really good, strong movement. So have to say, all Sinns I test always do really well on the time grapher. Now, let's talk about this strap. As you can see, it's got this leather strap, but it is also available on a bracelet like that. So you get the H-link, which goes on there. You can also have the silicone strap, which goes on there, which does actually conform to the diameter of the watch as well. So they do look quite cool. Now, this comes with this optional part here. So if I was to take the strap off, I could slide through here and you can wear the watch like that. Personally, I'm not a big fan of it myself. It just feels a bit too cumbersome with this on there. And if you do want to manipulate the crown in any way, it's simply in the way. But some people may like it, I don't know. It is incredibly comfortable. This is silky, silky smooth on the back of here, as to on here as well. This is really, really smooth. The strap itself, there is also a canvas strap, I've just remembered, which is available as well. You've got a fixed keeper, a floating keeper. You've got the Sinn logo on the back of there. Personally, I would like to have seen a slightly bigger, wider pin on that, rather than this pin, I should say. But overall, it is actually quite nice. I'll actually put it on my wrist. And one thing I didn't mention, I should have mentioned actually thinking about it, this case is tagmented. So it means it's incredibly scratch resistant. So this is really solid. But on a side note, the back isn't. So that's one thing to be aware. All this is fully tagmented. Got to be one of the smallest watches from Sinn actually tagment, I'd say. But let me show you on my wrist. Zoom out, quick wrist check. I'm wearing the simply gorgeous Picanier and Bob. Quality Bob, always good, mate. He's got the Sinn 556. So my wrist size is 7¼ inches. So let's put this on, see how it looks. Because this is one of those really where you kind of, it's almost comparable to the 556, but it's just that tiny, tiny bit bigger. Let's have it go there. So there you go. That's it on my 7¼ inch wrist. It is quite cool actually, something a little bit different. But anyway, hope you like the review. Any questions, leave them in the comments below and I'll always try and get back to you. Okay, all the best and most importantly, stay safe out there. Bye.